Valhalla is the most famous hall, owned by Odin. But do you know what is the realm and hall of Thor? What was the cause of Ragnarok? How was Asgard created and how will it be destroyed? Have you ever wondered where I get the incredible soundtracks, captivating sound effects, and stunning visuals that appear in my videos? The answer is Envato. This extraordinary resource is a real treasure for content creators like us. Envato distinguishes itself by its all-in-one. Not only is it a platform where you can find music, images, and videos, but it also offers templates, special effects, and art to boost your channel's presence. What I like the most about Envato is its versatility. Whether you're a video creation beginner or a seasoned veteran, it's the place for you. So if you're ready to take your content to the next level, I encourage you to give Envato a try. You will find the link in the description. And remember, by clicking on the link, you will not only be raising the quality of your creations, you will also be supporting this channel.
You complete me. I love you.
Come on, jump over to Envato, and together we'll make our content truly amazing. Yggdrasil is the world tree in Norse mythology, a giant evergreen ash tree that connects and sustains all the realms of the cosmos. Its roots and branches reach out to distant places and touch each of the 9 worlds. Today, we will delve into Asgard, the majestic home of the Aesir gods. As I begin this series, I will show you the stories and mysteries of the 9 worlds of Norse mythology. Given the richness and depth of these narratives, I have decided to break them down into individual episodes to give you a complete and detailed understanding. So if you don't want to miss this journey through the 9 worlds of Norse mythology, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join me on this adventure. Origins of Asgard. Asgard is one of the 9 worlds in Norse mythology and represents the home of the Aesir gods, one of the 2 main groups of gods, the other being the Vanir. Although Asgard is primarily the home of the Aesir, it was not always peaceful among the gods. There was a war between the Aesir and the Vanir. This we will see when we get to Vanaheim. The creation of Asgard, as well as that of other worlds, is related to the act of creation that gave birth to the Norse universe. According to the sources, in the beginning there was only the primordial chaos, the void of Ginnungagap, and 2 opposing realms, Niflheim, of cold and fog, and Muspelheim, of fire and heat. From their encounter arose Ymir, the first giant, and Audumla, the cosmic cow. From Ymir and his descendants, the first beings were formed, and from him himself, after being slain by Odin and his brothers Vili and Vi, the world, including Asgard, was created. Structure and locations. Asgard is composed of kingdoms with palaces and halls, each belonging to a particular god. Gladsheim is one of the most important realms, and is where the main god, Odin, resides. This kingdom stands out for having 2 of the most emblematic halls. Valhalla, for example, is the famous Hall of Odin. It is perhaps the most famous hall in Asgard. It is here that the bravest warriors, fallen in battle, are taken by the Valkyries after their death. It is said that they prepare in Valhalla for Ragnarok, the final battle. During the day, they train and fight each other, and at night they heal and feast with Odin. Valaskjalf is the other special hall belonging to Odin. In this hall is his throne, Hlidskjalf. From this throne, he has the ability to observe all the kingdoms and be aware of every event that happens in them. On the throne, Odin achieves Sidr, a type of magic that grants him omniscience. Valhalla is not the only place where fallen warriors reside. Freyja is a Vanir goddess who resides in Asgard. It is said that she chooses half of the fallen in battle, while Odin receives the other half in Valhalla. Folkvangr is described as a vast field where Freyja receives her guests. Located within Folkvangr, we find Sessrumnir, Freyja's hall. In Asgard, we can also find the Rainbow Bridge that connects with Midgard, the human world. Himinbjorg is the home of Heimdall, the guardian of the bridge. It is located on the edge of Asgard, which translates as Heavenly Mountains. From here, Heimdall can drink his mead and keep watch, for he has the keenest vision and hearing of all the gods. He keeps watch, waiting to blow his horn, Jallarhorn, when the forces of chaos approach and Ragnarok begins. Thrudheim is another of the kingdoms, and Bilskirnir is his palace. According to mythology, contains 540 rooms and is the largest building in existence. This is the place where Thor resides with his family. Vingolf is the hall where the goddesses reside. It is described as a beautiful and peaceful place, suitable for the female divinities of Asgard. Stories associated with Asgard. Numerous sagas and myths take place in Asgard or involve its inhabitants, such as the theft of Sif's hair. In the vast realm of Asgard, home to gods and goddesses, a scandal broke out that would affect peace among the deities and require cunning and wit to correct. At the center of this story is Loki, the cunning and often mischievous god of deception. One day, driven by his playful and mischievous nature, Loki decided to play a prank on Thor, the mighty god of thunder. While Sif, Thor's beautiful wife, slept soundly, Loki crept in and cut off her splendid golden hair, which was her greatest pride and the envy of all the goddesses in Asgard. Upon awakening, Sif was devastated to discover that her beautiful hair was gone. When Thor saw the state his wife was in, his fury knew no bounds. Loki, knowing Thor's temperament and understanding the consequences of his actions, found himself in a desperate situation.
Loki! Turn off the Tesseract or I'll destroy it!
You can't. There is no stopping it. There is only the war.
Thor caught Loki and demanded a solution. The wily god, ever quick, promised that he would return to Sif even more beautiful and magical hair than the one he had taken from her. To fulfill his promise, Loki knew he needed the help of the most skilled craftsmen of the 9 worlds, the dwarves of Svartalfheim. He traveled to this dark and mysterious realm, home to the dwarves, who were known for their skill in forging and magic. Loki, with his characteristic cunning, made a wager with 2 groups of dwarves, the sons of Ivaldi and the brothers Brock and Sindri. He challenged them to produce gifts more wondrous than those of the other group, promising their heads if they failed. The dwarves, never shying away from a challenge and also wishing to see Loki humiliated, accepted. They worked tirelessly at their forges, producing wonders: the golden boar Gullinbursti, the gold-dripping Draupnir ring, and, most important to Loki, a golden scalp for Sif that would grow on her head as if it were her own hair. But Loki's machinations did not end there. To make sure he won the bet, he tried to sabotage the work of the Brock brothers and Sindri. Despite his attempts, however, the brothers produced equally magnificent gifts, including Thor's hammer Mjolnir. When Loki returned to Asgard with the gifts, including the beautiful hair for Sif, there was a great celebration. Sif, with her new golden hair which shone even more radiantly than before, was the center of attention. But the story did not end there, for Loki had to face the consequences of his wager with the dwarves, which led to more adventures and mischief. Loki's act, although initially malicious, resulted in the acquisition of some of the gods' most prized items. Another famous tale is that of the building of the walls of Asgard. Asgard faced an unprecedented threat. Its defenses, though majestic, were fragile in the face of the dangers of the cosmos. The need for a sturdy fortress was evident, and so began one of the best-known stories of the Norse pantheon. One day, an unknown builder appeared before the gods, offering to build a wall around Asgard, a fortress so impregnable that even the mightiest giants of Jotunheim could not penetrate it. But his price was not in gold or silver. He wanted the beautiful goddess Freya as his wife, and in addition, the bright sun and radiant moon to light his way. The gods, led by Odin, were perplexed. On the one hand, they longed for the security the builder promised, but the price was exorbitant. After long deliberations, they devised a plan, largely influenced by the ingenious Loki. They would accept the builder's offer, but on one condition: he must complete the wall in a single winter, without the help of any other man. If even one stone was out of place when the first day of spring arrived, he would receive nothing. Confident, but with a condition of his own, the builder asked that he be allowed to use his faithful steed, Svadilfari, to assist in the task. After another consultation, and again influenced by Loki, who claimed to have a plan, the gods agreed. Construction began, and to the growing horror of the gods, the builder and Svadilfari worked at an unimaginable pace. Stones were being laid rapidly, and the fortress rose higher every day. With spring fast approaching, the gods, fearing to lose Freya and the stars, turned to Loki, demanding a solution. Loki, ever cunning, had a plan. One night, while the builder and Svadilfari were carrying stones, a beautiful mare came out of the forest, distracting the steed. It was Loki, who had transformed himself to seduce Svadilfari away from his task. The distraction worked, and without his steed, the builder could not complete the wall in time. When spring came, a single stone was out of place. The gods rejoiced and, holding up their end of the bargain, denied the builder his reward. Enraged, the builder revealed his true form, that of a giant, and prepared to face the gods. But Thor, the god of thunder, intervened and ended the conflict with a mighty blow from his hammer. Asgard now had a new fortress, and Loki's cunning had once again saved the day. However, as always in the stories of the gods, actions had consequences, and Loki's antics would lead to even greater and more dangerous adventures in the future, such as the death of Baldur. In Asgard, the presence of Baldur, the most beautiful and benevolent god, shone. His light was not only a physical manifestation, but also a glow that emanated from his spirit and enchanted all who crossed his path. To many, Baldur was the very embodiment of all that was pure and good in the Nine Realms. However, with beauty and goodness often comes envy and fear. Baldur began to have dark and disturbing dreams about his own death. These dreams were so vivid and recurring that they deeply disturbed the gods. Frigg, his devoted mother, and the queen of Asgard, decided to take action. She set out on a journey throughout the cosmos, demanding that every being, stone, metal, and element, swear not to harm her beloved son. All agreed, recognizing Baldur's harmlessness, except for the mistletoe, which Frigg overlooked as too young and insignificant to swear. Meanwhile, Loki, the trickster, watched with his usual cunning. He saw an opportunity and began to hatch one of his most malicious plans. He discovered Baldur's one weak spot, mistletoe. He created a sharp dart made of this plant and bided his time. One day, at a meeting of gods, they began to play a game that demonstrated Baldur's invulnerability. They threw objects and weapons at him, all of which deflected harmlessly, unable to hurt him. Loki, taking advantage of the occasion, sneaked up on Hodur, Baldur's blind brother, and offered him a part in the game. He gave him the mistletoe dart and guided him in throwing it. The dart, driven with precision, pierced Baldur's heart, and the luminous god fell dead on the spot. A deafening silence fell over Asgard. The joy and radiance that once filled the realm was darkened by Baldur's tragic death. Despair gripped the gods, and though they attempted to rescue him from the realm of the dead, circumstances and Loki's tricks prevented them from doing so. Baldur would remain in Hel until after Ragnarok. Baldur's death was not simply the loss of a beloved god, it was the first and most painful harbinger of Ragnarok, the end of the world, where the gods would face the giants in a final battle. With the fall of Baldur, the foundations of Asgard shook, and the fate of the gods was irrevocably sealed. The final fate of Asgard is revealed in the prophecy of Ragnarok, the destruction and renewal of the world. According to this prophecy, Asgard will be overrun, and many gods, including Odin and Thor, will meet their end. However, after Ragnarok, it is predicted that a new world will be reborn from the ashes of the old, and some gods will survive or be reborn. The great war between the gods, Aesir against Vanir, the world of the Light Elves and Midgard, the land of humans where many of the adventures of the Nordic mythology take place, will be the central theme of our next video of this series. Remember to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the story of the Nine Worlds.